GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening. Tonight we'll break down the severe thunderstorms rolling into the city and look at how the National Bank Open Family Day is getting kids on the courts. I'll also have a quick health hotline update before we hand off to traffic. Over to you, Emma.
The Montreal comedy show featuring local stand-up talent will take place at the St. Laurent Hall this Saturday night, starting at 8 o'clock.
Tickets are priced at $15 for adults and $10 for seniors, with a limited number of 24-hour advance reservations available online.
The program includes a 10-minute musical interlude by a local jazz quartet, followed by a surprise guest appearance announced later this week.
The comedy show will also feature a post-show meet and greet, and with tickets selling fast, lots to get to, let's begin. Good evening, Montreal. Environment Canada warns of violent thunderstorms and heavy rain across Montreal, Trois-Rivières, and Quebec City, with 50 to 100 millimeters expected Sunday. Colette Barbeau has the full story.
Violent thunderstorms are rolling in across the island, with Environment Canada warning of heavy downpours that could dump 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. The storms are moving from the west into the city, bringing intense lightning, strong gusts, and flash flood risk. Parts of western and northern Quebec are also under warning, and the system is expected to sweep through Trois-Rivières and Quebec City later today. Residents are being urged to secure loose objects and avoid low-lying areas as the rain intensifies. Officials say power outages and localized road closures could follow the strongest gusts. The forecast calls for sustained heavy rain throughout Sunday, with the greatest amounts likely to fall in the early afternoon. Colette Barbeau, GMNA News, Plateau. Denis Shapovalov fell short in the Los Cabos Open final, losing to France's rising star Arthur Gaya in straight sets 6-3, 6-4. The Canadian, who entered the tournament as a top seed, was unable to mount a comeback after a strong start, and Gaya clinched the title on the hard courts of Baja California. Shapovalov's loss ends his Mexican swing, and he is now boarding a flight back to Canada with plans to compete in his next ATP event in Montreal later this week. The Montreal stop will give the 26-year-old a chance to regroup before the North American hard court season intensifies. Officials confirmed his arrival time, and his team expects him to practice at the local facility before the upcoming draw. The sun-drenched Los Cabos courts in Mexico hosted the final, giving Gaya his first ATP title of the season after Shapovalov lost his serve twice in the second set.
At 4 o'clock this morning, a couple from Notre-Dame-de-Grâce opened the doors to their modest backyard for the first of what they hope will become a weekly neighborhood gathering. Residents are invited to bring a snack, a story and a smile, sitting on folding chairs while neighbors chat over coffee. The pair said they started the meetups after feeling isolated in their own borough and wanted a simple way to break down social barriers. Their initiative arrives as more urban dwellers across the island report a growing sense of disconnection, prompting grassroots efforts to rebuild ties. Organizers plan to rotate locations each week, keeping the format flexible and inclusive. The gatherings are set to continue every Sunday morning, offering a regular chance for locals to connect and share. Children are welcome, and the couple hopes the rhythm will inspire other boroughs to launch similar events.
A Montreal picnicker was bitten by a tick while enjoying a lunch in La Fontaine Park, highlighting the summer risk of tick bites in the city's green spaces. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
After a sunny family picnic in La Fontaine Park, a local resident discovered a tick lodged in the skin of their arm. The bite was reported to park officials shortly after the meal, prompting a quick inspection of the surrounding grassy area. Health authorities note that ticks thrive in Montreal's green spaces throughout the summer months, and bites can transmit illnesses if left untreated. The victim was advised to remove the parasite carefully and monitor for any symptoms, with a follow-up appointment scheduled at a nearby clinic. Park staff are reminding visitors to wear long sleeves, use insect repellent, and conduct regular body checks after outdoor activities. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, La Fontaine Park.
After months of uncertainty, the beloved Quebec French voice cast of The Simpsons returned to the studio in Montreal this summer, breathing new life into the long-running animated series. The revival marks the end of a recent threat that could have ended local dubbing altogether, a concern that sparked worry among longtime fans. For decades, Quebec households have heard the familiar Quebec French accents that give the show its regional flavor, and the summer sessions saw actors reconvene to record fresh episodes for the upcoming season. Producers said the decision to keep the dubbing alive reflects strong audience demand and a commitment to preserving the cultural touchstone that The Simpsons has become across the province. Viewers can now expect the classic humor to continue resonating in Quebec French well into the fall. Later we'll check on Quebec's 811 health hotline battling record wait times, plus more top stories coming up. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Good evening, Montreal. Quebec's 811 health hotline is now reporting record-long wait times, officials said today. The province's free, round-the-clock telephone service, which offers medical advice to anyone with a health question, has seen call queues climb to levels not seen in recent years. Health authorities attribute the surge to a combination of heightened seasonal illnesses and staffing shortages, though they decline to give exact figures. Callers are being asked to remain on the line for several minutes, and in some cases longer, before reaching a nurse or physician advisor. The ministry has pledged to add more personnel and explore digital triage options, but said the situation remains fluid as demand continues to outpace capacity. Some residents are turning to local clinics or the provincial website while the hotline works to restore normal service.
Gold medal judoka Julian Frascador will represent Canada as the flag bearer at the closing ceremony of the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games on 2 August. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Julian Frascador, the Canadian judoka who clinched gold in Glasgow, has been selected to lead the national delegation as flag bearer for the closing ceremony of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The announcement came on the 2nd of August, just hours before the final night of competition. Frascador will step onto the stadium's central stage in Glasgow, Scotland, to hoist the maple leaf as athletes gather for the farewell event. His selection follows a weekend of standout performances that helped Canada secure a strong medal tally. The ceremony, scheduled for later this evening, will conclude the Games with a parade of athletes and officials before the torch is extinguished. The flag will rise above the crowd as the closing moments unfold. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Glasgow.
Yesterday, the National Bank Open turned its courts into a playground for families, staging a family day that welcomed dozens of children onto the Montreal grounds. Top seed Felix Auger-Aliassime, ranked 4th worldwide, mingled with young fans, handing out ribbons and showing basic strokes. Organizers said the weekend event was designed to spark interest in tennis among the next generation, offering mini lessons, games, and the chance to walk the same lines as the ATP Tour stars. Participants tried serves, rallied with coaches, and explored the sport in a relaxed setting. Parents cheered from the sidelines as volunteers ran snack stations and photo booths, adding a festive atmosphere. An exhibition saw Auger-Aliassime pair with a local junior competitor, drawing applause from the crowd. The program complemented the tournament's broader summer schedule, reinforcing the Open's role in promoting recreation across the city. Officials noted turnout and plans to repeat the initiative next year.
Yesterday, the Quebec government announced that the historic park and the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games have been officially recognized as a historic site and a historic event. The designation comes on the 50th anniversary of the Games, marking half a century since athletes first raced on the island's tracks and crowds filled the stadium. Officials said the move will help preserve the park's green spaces and the legacy of the Olympics for future generations. Heritage experts noted the designation aligns with broader efforts to protect cultural landmarks across the province. The announcement was made at a ceremony in the park, where former athletes and local leaders gathered to celebrate the milestone. The park, a favorite destination for families, joggers, and cyclists, will now benefit from increased funding for maintenance and educational programs. The historic status adds a new layer of protection under provincial heritage legislation.
CF Montreal rallied from a deficit to earn a draw against the New England Revolution, netting 2 second-half goals at Saputo Stadium on Saturday night. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Late in the first half, the Revolution took the lead, slipping a clean strike past the Montreal keeper. As the fans settled into the night, the home side pushed forward, finding rhythm in the midfield. Midway through the second period, a crisp through ball found the Montreal forward, who slotted the equalizer past the Revolution goalkeeper. 10 minutes later, a swift counter-attack saw a second Montreal attacker meet a low cross and fire home, restoring parity. The stadium erupted as the final whistle blew, confirming a draw that leaves both clubs with 1 point each. Temperature hovered in the low 70s, and a gentle breeze kept the night comfortable. Coach Martin expressed satisfaction with the team's resilience after the comeback. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Now let's turn to our meteorologist for a quick look at tonight's forecast.
A weakening ridge and a southwest jet are pulling moisture east, keeping tonight's sky locked and overcast. On this date, the all-time high reached 31.4 degrees Celsius in 2024, a spike that rode the tail end of an unprecedented heat wave across the province. The record low of 11.4 degrees Celsius fell in 2023, when a sudden Arctic surge plunged the region into a brief but intense cold snap. By contrast, the climatological normals for early August sit near 26 degrees for the high and 21 for the low, underscoring how today sits comfortably between those extremes. The live radar canvas is completely blank from the Ottawa Valley to the St. Lawrence corridor, showing no precipitation echoes at all. A fast southwest jet streams aloft, yet surface moisture remains locked out by a modestly stable air mass, so the sky stays dry. With the system moving eastward, we expect the quiet to persist through the evening, allowing us to pivot to tonight's outlook. At 6 p.m., the city sits under a thick overcast with a temperature of 25 degrees, humidity 83%, and a gentle southeast breeze at 9 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 27 kilometers per hour. Pressure is near average but easing lower, signaling a gradual shift toward unsettled conditions despite the current calm. Overhead, the jet stream races southwest at 133 kilometers per hour, perched at 5,782 meters on the 500 HPA level, funneling upper-level energy into the region. The UV index reads 4, and the wind will peak around 15 kilometers per hour from the southeast later tonight. A severe thunderstorm watch blankets most of the island and surrounding counties, and a rainfall warning watches the St. Adèle area, so remain alert to rapid changes. With the radar still silent, we now turn to the broader 5-day picture. Monday brings an overcast start with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 16, accompanied by a 25% chance of rain as a weak cold front slides in. Tuesday brightens dramatically. Clear skies dominate, high 26, low 16, and no measurable precipitation. Wednesday continues the sunshine, climbing to a high of 28 and a low of 18, offering the warmest day of the stretch. Thursday sees the clouds return, overcast with a high of 27, low of 20, and a 25% rain probability as the next front drifts eastward. Friday caps the week with another overcast spell, high 28, low 21, and an elevated rain chance of 40%, hinting at a lingering moisture surge. The pattern swings between brief dry spells and modest rain windows, delivering a dynamic end to the week. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, traffic updates, a sneak peek at tonight's comedy and classical shows, plus the Good Food Chamber Spotlight. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
All major routes are flowing freely this afternoon. Autoroute Quinns, Autoroute Sync, and Boulevard St. Laurent report no delays, and St. Denis and Peel are moving at normal speed. With no incidents on the road network, commuters can expect a smooth ride through downtown and the West Island. Look ahead to the early evening rush, though. Around 6 o'clock, traffic tends to build on Autoroute Sync northbound toward the airport and on Chemin de la Côte des Neiges as residents head home. Drivers on Rue St. Catherine often see a slowdown near the University District after 6 If you're heading toward the South Shore, keep an eye on the Pont Champlain where volume typically rises as the sun sets. Transit runs on schedule with the Metro Green Line and major bus routes operating without interruption. So far, the city's streets are clear, but plan for modest congestion as the evening approaches.
The Montreal Highland Games and Festival kicks off today on the Douglas Hospital grounds in Verdun, bringing cobber toss, bagpipe bands, and hearty Scottish fare, a perfect way to soak up summer sunshine with the whole family. Across town, the Mason Symphonique opens its doors for a double header of classical brilliance. First, a Brahms, Mendelssohn, and new music program under the baton of Yannick Nézet-Séguin, then later the bold new staging of Shakespeare's Macbeth, also conducted by Nézet-Séguin, offering a night where timeless symphonies meet operatic drama. If you're after a lighter vibe, the Montreal Comedy Show rolls into Deli Planet tonight, featuring Canada's top stand-up talent in a cozy food court setting ideal for a quick laugh after work. And for genre fans, the Fantasia International Film Festival continues at Hall Concordia Theatre, showcasing fresh horror, fantasy, and sci-fi premieres with filmmaker Candé Sessions, a must-see for anyone craving something off the beaten path. And now here's Jason with sports.
Habs heat up the offseason as goals, drafts, and depth take center stage. Goalie Jacob Dobish returned to Montreal declaring a 4-year mission to bring home the Stanley Cup. His renewed focus and chemistry with teammates signal a cornerstone for the Habs net, giving fans a clear leader as the club chases its next championship. With the 2027 NHL draft looming, the Canadiens have identified 3 prospects to plug lingering holes on the roster. Targeting youthful talent aligns with Kent Hughes' rebuild plan and could reshape the forward core while preserving cap flexibility for the stretch run. Arbor Xhekaj stands at a contract crossroads as the Habs weigh his defensive contributions against cap constraints. Retaining him would bolster physical depth, but a costly extension could limit flexibility for emerging blue liners, leaving management to decide his role in the next roster cycle. The Canadiens' blue line now boasts unprecedented depth, a product of Martin St. Louis and Kent Hughes rewarding performance and potential. New Laval Rocket coach Daniel Jacob inherits a roster reshaped from last season, while Hughes' center depth strategy promises to sustain offensive pressure throughout the campaign. Evaluating Kirill Marchenko's price tag, the Habs must balance a king's ransom against his upside in a top 5 under 25 core. While past trades like Brett Kulak offer perspective, the decision will hinge on whether Marchenko can become a cornerstone alongside emerging talent. Off-season chatter swirls around Suzuki, Caulfield, and rookie Lane Hudson, while Sasha Pastujov arrives from the Ducks for Sean Farrell. Jake Allen's skepticism of a 3-goalie rotation adds intrigue, and Ivan Demidov emerges as a potential breakout candidate for the Habs' forward depth.
Good food based in the Plateau has been a fixture on Montreal kitchen tables for years, delivering fresh, locally sourced meal kits that let families cook together without the hassle of shopping. Today, the company disclosed it faces significant doubt about its ability to keep operating, warning investors that the value of their stakes could tumble sharply. That uncertainty ripples through the food tech ecosystem, putting jobs at risk and leaving loyal customers wondering where their next dinner will come from. Good Food has helped many Montrealers discover new flavors and support local farmers, and its potential loss would be felt in every home that learned to cook with confidence. The city's resilience will be tested as we watch how this brand navigates the storm. Coming up, Ontario's Duncan Chan pulls off a top 100 upset right here in Montreal. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Good evening, Montreal. Duncan Chan defeated a top 100 ranked player at the National Bank Open in Montreal on August 1st, delivering a notable upset at this ATP Masters event. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Crowd roared as Duncan Chan, the underdog from the National Bank Open draw, closed out a stunning upset against a world top 100 player on center court. Chan, playing his first Masters 1000 match in Montreal, served a blistering ace on match point before sealing a 3-set victory, 6-4, 3-6, 7-5. The opponent, ranked just inside the top 100, struggled with unforced errors after the early break, while Chan's forehand found the corners with precision. Spectators along Rue St. Catherine cheered as the Canadian-born athlete celebrated with his coach, holding up the trophy for a moment before the final point. The win propels Chan deeper into the tournament and adds a surprise twist to this week's draw. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Alexis Galarneau joins 3 fellow Canadians in the main field of Montreal's Omnium Bank National, the premier track cycling event on the international calendar. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
Alexis Galarneau has punched his ticket into the main field of the Omnium Bank National, the premier track cycling showdown here in Montreal. The Canadian rider clinched the spot after a fast qualifying run that placed him among the top contenders. He joins 3 fellow Canadians who have also secured places in the draw, bringing the nation's representation to 4 riders on the track. The event, a staple on the international calendar, draws athletes from across the globe to the velodrome downtown, where the crowd buzzes with anticipation for the sprint and endurance battles ahead. Officials confirmed the lineup this evening, and the riders are now gearing up for the heats that kick off tomorrow. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Montreal.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight's highlight was seeing judoka Julian Frascador honored as Canada's closing ceremony flag bearer, a proud moment for our community. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. See you then, and stay tuned for tomorrow's sunrise coverage.